alaikum, it's Melanie from Haute Hijab, and today I'm answering your Ask Me Anything questions from our posts on Facebook and Instagram. And alhamdulillah, we got a lot of really awesome questions, and I'm sorry I won't be able to answer all of them, but I picked out some of the questions, and hopefully yours got answered. Alright, let's start. So Abrar Majad asks, where do you live? I actually live in Dubai. And I grew up in Detroit, Michigan, and then I got married and moved to Chicago. I was there for 2 years, and then we moved here to Dubai. And Fia asks, how do you like living in Dubai in comparison to the US? It's a difficult question because the two countries are so different, but alhamdulillah, it's been a really rewarding experience so far. We've met some really great people, and we've been able to travel to some really cool places. So it's been great, but one thing I will say is that I had this expectation moving here that my spiritual growth would really be uplifted. And unfortunately that, it didn't happen so much. And I think it's the phenomenon of growing up in America and thinking that our parents back home were the real Muslims and that's where real Islam was. And then you go there and you see the exact opposite. And you see that all they want to do is be like Americans, where we are. And I remember the shock and that all my family had in Lebanon, where my dad is from, when they learned that I wore hijab in the States, and they couldn't believe it, that how could I and my friends actually wear hijab in America. So that's kind of been the same phenomenon here. And I think also, when you're living in a Muslim country where the vast majority of people are Muslim, then you kind of take your community bonds and you take your religion for granted a little. And when in the States, you form this community and this strong bond with everybody because you guys are all, we're in it together, and we're living in this greater community of Americans who aren't Muslims, so we feel an even more stronger bond to stay together and to promote what's good between ourselves. So that's something that you don't get here that I really miss a lot. But alhamdulillah, it's been a great experience so far, definitely. And Samira Iqbal asks, what's the fashion, beyond the fashion of hijab, what is the motivation behind Haute Hijab? And there's a similar question on Facebook as well. And I get asked this question a lot. So, I was one of those girls who grew up obsessed with fashion, and I learned to sew really early. I used to make clothes for myself and my friends at a time when it was impossible to find a long skirt. And I was obsessed with fashion magazines, but that in and of itself wasn't enough to take me to fashion school, let's say. I ended up going to law school, and I'm an attorney, and so what really did it was, I was in my second year of law school, and I started a halaqa, a girls group, and we started out with about 10 high school girls, and it really gave me this insight into girls that age and what they're going through, and particularly when it came to hijab. And the trend was more towards not wearing it, where when I was coming up, if you didn't wear hijab, it was like, what are you doing? Like, wear hijab already. Now it's not like that, and girls were also taking it off, or the girls who were wearing it were just wearing it because maybe it was expected of them and they didn't really enjoy it. And for me, that was so disheartening because I was a person who loved hijab, and I walked out of my house every morning so confident and loving this hijab I was wearing. And so that's something I always wanted to see within them. So that's kind of where this whole thing was born, when I merged those two things, and it was really my husband who pushed me towards it. And so the basic goal and premise all along of this company has been to instill confidence in Muslim hijabi women and to help those who are struggling. And that's what it's been all about this whole time, which is why, in addition to the retail, you'll also see our social aspect, where we'll have our Hijabi of the Month features, we do our Ask Haute Hijab advice column features, we give out free hijabs in Ramadan to those who put it on for the first time, we have services for girls who are struggling, and we put them in touch with community leaders so they can help them through their issues. All that stuff is so important to us because it's the core, and at its very core, that's what hijab is about. It's about helping girls who are wearing hijab feel confident and love wearing it, and understand why they're wearing it, of course. So I hope that answers it. Zura Ahmed on Instagram asks, what's your favorite fabric for hijab and why? Our chiffon, definitely. It is the best, seriously. It's definitely my favorite. I'm somebody who wears squares, as you can tell, and this little fold right here is extremely important to me. And those chiffon hijabs are perfect because I always get the right fold, and they're lightweight, they're perfect for summer, they're definitely my favorite. That, and I really love satin scarves too. They're nice for formal outfits. Okay, Iman Salam asks, how do you balance being a fashion blogger with being a moderate Muslim? Do you ever feel bad carrying designer brands? I always feel judged if I carry a designer purse or something of that nature. It's like you can't be fashionable if you're Muslim, or it's haram to own more than 3 pairs of shoes. And can we be BFFs? Yes, we can be BFFs. You know, here's how I feel about it. I feel like if you have the means and you can afford it, and I say that because if you can't afford it, then no, you shouldn't be buying a designer bag. But if you have the means, and it's something you know you're going to be keeping for a long time, it's not like you're collecting these bags as trophies in your closet that are going to be collecting dust. Something that you're going to wear for a long time, then go ahead and do it and don't feel guilty or bad about it. But don't get caught up either. It's really easy to buy one, put it on the shelf, and be like, oh, when am I going to get my next one? No, it shouldn't be that way. That would be extravagant and not within the bounds of Islam. But I will say this, I think it's very important that if you're going to invest that much money in yourself, in this dunya, for your own nafs, then you need to be investing that much, if not more, fi sabilillah. I really think that's the key to maintaining and striking that balance between dunya and akhirah. Because it's not to say that, you know, as Muslim women, we can't have nice things, and of course you can, but it's all in moderation. Islam is all about moderation. And so you have to find that balance. As far as the, you know, this whole thing between fashion and being a moderate Muslim, like you're saying, I think that Islam loves beauty. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves beauty, and so should we. And so there's nothing wrong with looking beautiful and dressing beautifully, as so long as it's within the boundaries laid out in Islam. So that means not being extravagant and, you know, being a shopaholic. And it also means wearing clothes that are modest as prescribed in the Quran, within the guidelines that Allah has laid out, right? So those things are all important. If you can navigate within those boundaries, then there's nothing wrong with looking beautiful and wearing nice clothing. Okay, Zaysad, or Zainab Salman from Instagram, asks, how do you reconcile maintaining balance between the fashion blogging and staying away from pride and ostentation? I find you to be very balanced without calling attention to yourself, but it's more about style and modesty. Honestly though, that's a huge compliment, so thank you so much for saying that. And I attribute all of that to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because it's something that I struggle with definitely, and anybody in this space, it's very easy to let your ego take hold. So it's something that I make dua for every single day, and something that I'm constantly thinking about, making sure that I'm not falling into that trap. You know, with that being said, one thing I do is that whenever somebody pays me a compliment, obviously I'll say thank you and be polite about it, but I kind of let those words just bounce right off me. I don't let those words sink in. Because when you do that, then you start to believe those things, and you do believe that you are this, that, and the other. So it's important to be really cautious about those things. And also I keep in mind the fact that this isn't about me. It's not about, this whole company is about you guys, and it's about the girls who are struggling with hijab, and it's about instilling confidence in girls with hijab, and it's less about me. So that keeps me grounded as well. Another thing I will say that's very important is making sure that I have a strict regimen throughout my day of devoting time to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through worship and ibadah. And that's very important. You know, in addition to the mandatory, I read Quran daily, I do my daily dhikr, I take a tajweed class, I take an Arabic class, I have a weekly halaqah, I take online classes for tafsir and for seerah. And so with all of those things, you know, in addition to the learning, it's also about me trying to be a woman of taqwa and being always conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and always conscious of what's really important, and not getting so caught up in this dunya. So when you're doing all those things, it's not as easy to then turn around and do something that's displeasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So those things really help. And lastly, I will say that, alhamdulillah, I am really blessed to have a core group of girls around me who are not afraid to put me in check at any time. And they do. And I love it, because you know, when you're in it, sometimes you do get caught up. And so from the outside looking in, I love when they call me up and are like, dude, you need to delete that last picture, or what were you thinking with that last post? You know, things like that. And that's really important to me, and I'm glad I have that, so that helps too. Okay, Dark Angelina XYZ asks, can you wash the HH Lux scars? Yeah, the Lux line are our 100% silk scarves, and those you can definitely throw in the washing machine. Just make sure you put it on the delicate or the hand wash cycle with non-abrasive detergent, and then you can make them, air dry them. Don't put them in the dryer, and then just when you iron them, iron it on like a low heat. Okay, Sema Lane asks, do you plan on going to ISNA in Detroit in 2014? Yeah, of course. ISNA's gonna be in Detroit, I will be there. Definitely. I have to be there, it's in Detroit, are you serious? I'm excited about it too, because ISNA hasn't been in Detroit in a long time, so I'm super psyched about it. I don't know if we're gonna have our own booth, but I will be present for sure, and I would love to meet you if you're gonna be there, Sema. Dendune asks, are you coming to MAC ISNA this December? And no, I'm not. I'm sorry, I won't be in the States at that time. Okay, Nabulusia asks, how do you balance your professional job with Haute Hijab and everything else in between? I think I touched upon that in the earlier question about my ibadah throughout the day, and I find that when you do devote time to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala throughout your day, He puts barakah in your day and in your time. And I notice on the days when I'm not devoting so much time as I typically do, that the rhythm and the flavor of that day is different. It's not, you feel it. You feel when there's barakah in your day, and you feel when there's not. And when there is barakah in your day, you have the time. Somehow everything gets done, subhanAllah. That, and I don't sleep very much. Yeah, even when I'm sleeping, I'm working, so, but it's a good thing, I'm not complaining, alhamdulillah. Okay, B. Jeffrey 786 asks, what is your biggest hijabi fashion pet peeve? Mine is skinny jeans. The thing about skinny jeans is funny. I feel like, if I was in high school or in college right now, I don't know that I could say for certain that I wouldn't be wearing super tight jeggings that everybody else is wearing. Because you're young, and again, everybody else is wearing it, and that's all you can find in the stores right now. It's really difficult to shop for regular jeans these days. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. So I don't know that I could say I wouldn't be wearing it, and I give all the credit in the world to those girls at that age who are avoiding it, because that takes a lot. I mean, it literally takes work to go and find things, pants to wear that are jeans that aren't super skin tight. So may Allah Ta'ala give them the knowledge to know right from wrong and the strength to do what's right. But I don't know that I have a fashion hijab pet peeve. I think in general my pet peeve when it comes to fashion is girls who, or women, anyone who leaves the house looking just like a hot mess. I hate that. That always bothered me, because I feel like, you should put some thought into what you're wearing. I think that your style and what you wear says a lot about you. And my own personal style philosophy has always been to look presentable, look approachable, look put together. And that doesn't mean you need to, spend an hour in front of your closet thinking, what am I going to wear today? You should have, especially when you're on the go, like 5 to 10 outfits that are ready-made that look great on you, you feel comfortable in them, and you just go for them each time. Just a tailored trench coat with a pair of pants underneath looks good every time. You don't have to put so much thought into it, but you should put a little effort. I don't know, that's how I feel anyways. All right, last question from Mediha Fahad. She asks, will you be introducing more items into your collection, like clothing, at any point? And if you're in Chicago, you should do a meet and greet. I would love to do a meet and greet in Chicago. Definitely, Mediha, next time I'm there, I'll do one for sure. We're definitely introducing more clothing in the future, in the near future, inshallah. We have some things in the works, and thank you guys so much for your patience for putting up with us, because unfortunately we can't pump things out as fast as we'd like, but we're definitely working hard. And the last part of our question is, will some of the hijabs that are sold out come back, like the chevron bombshell wrap? Yes. So I just found that print like a couple days ago, and I was so excited, and I got all of it. I bought it all out, and I was so excited because so many people have been asking about that print. So Inshallah, you'll be able to get yours, Nadiha. And when it comes to the sold out prints in general, when there's a popular print, I try my best every time to go out and find that same one. And if I can't find it, that just means it was sold out and there's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. But if there is a print that you want to see, let me know, because that's how I know which ones to look for. You can always let me know on Instagram or Facebook or email, whatever. Okay, so those are the questions that I picked out to answer, and if you have any other questions, you can email me directly at melanie.aldrich@hautehijab.com. You can also reach out to us on Facebook, on our Instagram page, or on our blog. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Assalamu alaikum.